Testing the Shuttlemark dry markers. I got 15 of them. The idea of a dry marker is this: you have something, you paint something on, and then you can wipe it off, dry again. Like this here. So I got them to replace this marker I already have, because it's running out of color. So now let's try to open it. There is an opening here. These pens were a little bit cheaper than other listings on Amazon. I got them from Amazon, and they also seem to have an eraser built in, which in addition would be nice, because otherwise I have to use this cloth here all the time. The basic idea is that I use them to make videos, and so I would use something like this, have it down here, have the camera slightly angled differently, and then I can actually draw. So let's try to use something like this here. Now what I actually wanted was this here, but with a tip that would be kind of a rectangle, because then you could have different kind of drawings. Now this is a little bit on the lighter side compared to this here. So what I noticed is that this here is a little bit weird to hold. So you have to hold it kind of close to the tip here, which does not allow you to draw very fast actually. So let's say I need to cover this distance here and then make a turn here. The only way I can basically increase the lever of my hand is by using my wrist here and by basically drawing, but then having here basically a handle that is more in the back. So what this doesn't allow me to do is have it that much in the back, but also this doesn't allow me to do is to hold it very easily in the back. So I figured maybe it would be an improvement, maybe it would not. But these additionally can do what the other one cannot really. I mean, you can, I think, put the tip on here, and then you would have this longer handle slightly, but it also breaks off as you see here. So the idea now is that I would have maybe a slightly thinner pen that seemingly does not elongate the handle to a big extent, but at least it is then in a kind of nice form. So I figured this does not look the best, but this does actually kind of look like a normal pen. Another positive thing about the black ones specifically is then that they disappear more into the background because they are just black. You could also just paint them over with something else or put tape on it, which I probably will try to do. So let's try them out and compare them to this one, which is the Staedtler Lumocolor whiteboard marker. So in terms of the thickness of these two here, they seem to be very similar. I don't know what the exact diameter in terms of millimeters of the tip is. What does the listing on Amazon say? I also couldn't find anything regarding the tip size. So in terms of the listing itself, it's called Shuttlemark whiteboard markers, 15 black, magnetic. So this is also something to note, that they are magnetic. They have this strip here. With eraser, wipe clean, fine tip whiteboard markers for whiteboard, magnetic white writing markers, mirrors. So okay, we now have a few different benefits. The first one, I guess, and let's try this out, is that you can draw, and it seems to draw very nicely actually, and then you can use the tip in order to erase it very quickly. Now this didn't work the best, but compared to me then using this cloth I currently have, there are also these other things you can grab and then erase, but I found just this cloth, and then I can actually throw this cloth into the washing machine, which I cannot really do with the other ones, and I would have to clean them manually. So in terms of the lever now, in terms of having basically a bigger lever which would allow me to draw faster and basically in a wider radius, if my hand basically is in the center, then I could use this in order to draw basically a better circle of what I can draw within the circle, basically, not the circle itself. So this seems to work quite fine, especially for small corrections. I think if I have this, or if I, for example, try to mirror right here and try to make a 69, and I actually make it the wrong way around, then with this here I could just erase it quickly, whereas with the other one I couldn't. Now in terms of sustainability, these markers from Staedtler, they actually can be refilled, so they're on Amazon also. We're selling these kind of small cups, and then you can just dunk them in, and then apparently the ink goes into the pen again. Now usually I try to reduce my waste, and buying 15 of these markers for €9 was just kind of more the cost-effective solution for me, because if I had bought these, so that I would have gotten 3 of these pens and also 3 of these basically of these tint or ink bases. Now these are also a lot of plastic. Of course this is also a lot of plastic, but compare them to each other and I think there is not that much difference. So of course they are a lot of plastic. They also might be refillable. I saw on Amazon also that someone used this ink thing and then put other pens in, which might be possible if the tip is fairly similar, which it might be, so I might still be able to refill those. Do I really need 15 and would have 3 maybe be enough? Have been enough, possibly, but these actually just sold in this package. So I got them for in total I think €9, $10.99 apparently. They would also have sold in another color, which would have had the addition of blue and red, which might have been beneficial, but I decided I want to keep it simple, and in addition I wanted to have the black marker, the black color of markers themselves, not what they actually paint. There was also a different package available, which would have been just the same marker in white. In terms of using the magnet, obviously if you have a whiteboard you can use the magnet. What I have here is this kind of thing where I could potentially have one of these markers, but I probably won't. So as a final step, let's try to paint over this white thing here, the white logos, with a normal permanent marker, and let's try to see what it looks like. Of course I could also use tape, but then maybe using tape would be the better option. But on the other side, on the flip side, then maybe this wouldn't fit on anymore. So this is now what it looks if I have it painted over once. So it kind of looks like a normal pen you would have, and not so much like a white marker anymore. Of course you can paint it over once again, but I think that this solution of having just a black pen entirely and not something like this, which has all the different logos on it, is just a better and a simpler solution and doesn't distract that much from what I'm trying to write. So here's an example in terms of the whiteboard pen. I did have 2 options: either go with another one that is white from this here, or another one that is not white, and I choose this option. So this just exemplified the 2 different options, I think, very nicely. So it's basically just a little bit of visual enhancement for an otherwise just talking video, which will be the scenario which I will use this for.